Hello, I'm Peter Stewart, and congratulations to Stephen Taylor from the Foodamentalists, who won Best Free From Innovative Brand of the Year in this year's Foods You Can People's Choice Award, which we mentioned a few weeks ago when they started their award process. And they beat Perkia, Illumi, and Newburn Bakehouse. Now, I spoke with Stephen soon after he found out that he'd won and asked him about his business and his dreams for the future. Warning, this interview contains words such as pie, flaky pastry, and doughnuts.
I've been baking a range of our new cakes to go for samples to a chain of cafes and garden centres.
Tempt us. What flavours have you got going at the moment? What smells are wafting through the bakery as we speak?
We have Bakewell tarts, peanut butter blondies, chocolate fudge cakes, and soft fresh flour bread rolls, all gluten, wheat, and dairy free.
Well, fantastic, and congratulations, because it's those kinds of names and recipes that won you this award as the Innovative Business of the Year. So congratulations.
Thank you very much. It still hasn't really sank in because of the competition that was out there and some of the other businesses that were nominated and all that. I still can't really believe that we won it. We try to do different products to everybody else. Well, we do the donut mix and a tortilla mix. Our biggest selling products by far are the pork pies.
Well, I was just reading this because the pork, black pudding and red onion pie, boy, oh boy, that sounds a little bit different. Tell me about that. How did that come about?
It was one that I used to eat myself and really enjoyed. And then when I found a way of replicating the black pudding, went ahead and made the pie.
Now, we've got a few listeners, loads of listeners in other countries, so we better just explain to them what black pudding is and why you had to find one that was wheat-free.
Black pudding is predominantly pig's blood and fat, all held together with some herbs, spices, and in regular black pudding, it's barley and wheat that holds it all together.
So you found a way to replicate that, but without the barley and wheat. So what's in it instead, without giving away too many trade secrets?
It's potato and rice.
And then, of course, you've got the crust for that filling to go into. So what kind of crust is that?
It's a traditional style hot water pastry that took me nearly 2 years to develop and get right.
How close do you think you are to getting a flaky pastry? Because no one's really managed to do that yet, have they? The kind of the puff pastry, the vol au vent kind of pastry, the kind of pastry you'd get on top of a pie in a pub, that kind of thing.
We do one. I have developed one. It's just that it's so time consuming to make. It's not viable for me to produce products from them to sell them. Because it's made exactly the same way as a traditional flaky pastry would be made. So it's all the rolling and folding and then chilling in between. And because between each fold, it has to be refrigerated for an hour.
Stephen, tell me a little bit about the history of the Foodamentalists. How long have you been going?
We've actually been in business since early 2009. But when we originally started, we produced organic ready meals, just selling them on farmers markets. But a couple of the ones that I produced were gluten-free just by accident. And we had customers buying them and then challenging me to make other stuff as good as. In my naivety at the time, I thought, well, how difficult can it be? And then locked myself away for virtually 2 years before I even sold a gluten-free product.
Fantastic. But you're not gluten-free yourself, by the sound of it.
No, I'm not. I say that's one of the reasons that my products, being a bit big-headed, are so good, because I can do a taste comparison between a regular product and one of mine and then think to myself, well, actually, mine's not that good. I best start again. Because with all the new products that I launch or look at launching as well, I have them taste tested by celiacs or people who have some sort of intolerance and people who can eat anything. And until they both like them, then they don't go on sale.
That's always the test, isn't it? Absolutely. When you get an ordinary person who tastes something gluten-free and goes, wow, actually, that is really tasty. That's perhaps even better. That's the greatest accolade, isn't it? That's better than the ordinary food.
It is, yeah. There's one of my stockists at the moment. I supply them with a range of cakes and pastries, and I was speaking to them on Friday, and they were saying that their regular customers are buying them now just because of the taste.
Excellent. Oh, that is fantastic, isn't it? Certainly that's what they say about the sponge cakes, isn't it? That are just an ordinary Victoria sponge, if you like, can be so much lighter without that gluten to weigh it down.
It's amazing how light you can actually make them, because for the products that I produce, I blend my own flours. I don't use any commercially available flour blends. And to make a sponge cake lighter, we just incorporate more starch into the mix. I don't tend to have a problem baking with gluten-free ingredients anymore. The problem I have is trying to bake with wheat-based ingredients now. I've got myself into the mindset now of baking with the starches and the different rice and pulse flours. So it's very easy now. It's when I come to bake using wheat flour, if I was to try and bake a wheat-based cake now, it'd be like a house brick.
You've also got the various coatings. Now, this is something I've not seen before. Tell us about those coatings.
They're like a multi-purpose, a multi-use product. They can be used as a crispy crumb coating. We have one that replicates southern fried chicken, but we have people that mix that with our batter mix and coat mushrooms and things like that with it. Or you can mix them to a paste with olive oil and use it as a marinade. We do one which is honey and mustard, which is very, very subtly flavoured with powdered honey and mustard seeds. And that one is really, really nice, just sprinkled over salmon, and then just leave it overnight and then grill it.
God, you're making my mouth water. And also, we must talk about the donuts, because I know you're particularly proud of the donut mix.
Yeah, the donut mix has been a great hit. I've also been working on replicating a fresh donut. Still very much trial and error. The problem that we're having is getting a decent shelf life on it. It's trying to retain the moisture in it without using any chemicals or anything like that, because we don't put anything artificial into any of our products. So it's just trying to find something that will hold the moisture into it, so that, say, for argument's sake, we bake them on a Monday, they're still good for somebody to eat on a Wednesday at home. If you look at most commercially available products, breads and things like that, they all have things like mold inhibitor in them, so your product will actually go mouldy before you can see it's gone mouldy. We just don't use anything like that. We don't use monosodium glutamate to enhance the flavour. We just use natural herbs and spices to bring out the flavour of the product that's already there.
What other things are you working on, again, without giving away too many trade secrets?
One of the things that we did sort of soft launch was a crumpet mix, but we got mixed feedback off that. So I'm retweaking it again at the moment in what little spare time I get. But we are looking at launching that fully in the new year, along with a fresh pasta mix as well.
Oh, wow, a fresh pasta mix. That sounds innovative. Again, not heard of that before.
It's just through listening to the customers that come into the shop and what they ask for and everything. And rather than us trying to, again, make a pasta that'll have a long shelf life or having to freeze it, I develop the end product and then work it back into a packet mix, and then remove as many stages as possible, because I work by the KISS principle, keep it simple, stupid. So all our products have only got one or two stages to get from the mix to the end product. People don't have a lot of spare time. They don't want to be spending an hour making a product up that they've then got to make into something else.
So what's it going to mean winning this award then, Stephen? It means that you're going to be even busier, doesn't it? People clamouring to buy more products and demanding more new products from you as well.
I'm hoping it's going to make us busier. We have a plan for the next couple of years, but we need to finance it, because I don't want to end up giving away part of my business to somebody to finance my dreams for me. So the more business we can get, the sooner we can get to our end goal, which will make me happy and hopefully make a lot of celiacs happy as well.
So what is your dream?
I basically want to have one of our bakeries in every major city in the UK.
Wow, that sounds fantastic. And when you pitch that to your high street bank manager and you say the words gluten-free and celiac, does he or she know what you're talking about? Are they supportive?
I'm actually in the process of changing banks, because my current bank don't have the same vision as me and don't understand the market.
So wish you the very best of luck with that. Now, if people are thinking, wow, with those various mixes and the coatings and the donuts and the pies and the pastries and so on, how can we get hold of these? Well, you're not in every city in the UK yet. However, obviously some people, you mentioned the shop, some people can pop by and actually get these from you direct. How can they get in contact with you?
We have a website which is foodamentalists.com. And that one relates purely to the shop, but it does have a list of all our stockists on there as well. And at the end of this month, we will have foodamentalists.co.uk, which will be an online shop where everybody can buy our products from for home delivery.
Stephen Taylor from the Foodamentalists, and we look forward to following his progress over the next few years as well. It's going to be very interesting. Is he going to? I'm sure he is. He certainly seems to have the drive, the passion, the interest and the skills to make it big and to realise his dreams of having a whole chain of those gluten-free bakeries across the United Kingdom. So I'm sure he would welcome your support.
Follow us on Twitter. We're at G Free Radio.